Hi, I'm Anna, and welcome back to my channel, Building a Business. So before you purchase a rental property, it's really important that you do a very thorough analysis to make sure that the property you're purchasing is a smart one. If you're in the process of learning about rental real estate, you most likely have heard of BiggerPockets. BiggerPockets is a company that provides a ton of different resources to help out rental real estate professionals and amateurs. And one of their many resources that they offer is an online calculator that can help you accurately predict whether or not a potential property will be profitable over the long run. This calculator is pretty straightforward to use, but it can also be pretty overwhelming if you have never analyzed a property before and are just learning the basics. So in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to use their calculator and what values you should be plugging in for the different options. Now, before I begin, it's important to point out that this calculator is not free. To have unlimited access to the calculator, you're required to get a pro membership with BiggerPockets, which costs $39 per month, not an insignificant amount of money. So what if you want to have access to this calculator but just don't feel that the $39 per month is worth it? Well, luckily, the calculator is not that hard to make yourself. Of course, if you make it yourself, it may not look as professional, but it'll certainly get the job done. In my next video, I will be going through a very detailed step-by-step process of how to make your own calculator that matches BiggerPockets. And if you're interested in learning how to make one yourself, then you can click up here. Once my next video is live, that link will take you straight to it. Okay, so now let's get back to the BiggerPockets calculator and how to use it.
Okay, so I just picked a random property to use. I decided to look in Cleveland, Ohio, and then I went to realtor.com and clicked on the very first property, the most recently posted property, which was posted 3 hours ago. And this is the property. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath. The address is 3430 Wales Ave in Cleveland, Ohio. And they're asking almost $160,000. Now, just based off of what it is and the location it's at, I'm already pretty sure that this is a bad deal, but let's keep looking to find out. So I went to the BiggerPockets rental property calculator. I went to Tools and then clicked on Rental Property, and then I started filling in the information. So here's the street address. I added a photo from the realtor.com website, and if you keep going, the purchase price, so here's what they're asking. The purchase closing costs are going to vary a lot. I see anywhere between about 1 to 5% that people end up paying in closing costs. And that all depends on what type of financing you're getting and a whole bunch of other factors. So in this case, I just chose a middle value of about 3%. And so that comes out to about $4,500. So I'm not going to be rehabbing this property. If I go back to the realtor.com listing and do a quick scroll through the different photos, you can see it looks like it's already been rehabbed. It looks totally ready to go. Now, if I scroll down to the loan details, I'm going to put down 20% on this property, and I'm going to assume I can get an interest rate of 3.5%. I'll have 0 points charged, and my loan term will be 30 years. If I keep going down, the rental income is something that you have to figure out. So if you go to rentometer.com, you can plug in the address that you're looking at. So I just plugged in the address that I found exactly from realtor.com, and I pressed Analyze Address. And you can see the average and the median prices for a 3-bed. In this case, you can't say any more than 1.5 bath. So the average value and the median value are actually very similar. But because this property seems like it's very well rehabbed, then I'm going to say I can get a rent of $1,100 per month. So that's how I got this value. Then I keep going down. The expenses, in terms of the property taxes, when I go to the realtor.com listing, I can scroll down and see the property history, and in this case, they paid about $2,000 in taxes in 2019, so I'm going to use that value. I've got the $2,000 annually right here. In terms of insurance, that's going to vary a ton based off of location, the property type, and a number of other criteria. So in this case, I just put it at about 1% of the property value, and again, annually. In terms of repair and maintenance, I did 8% for both repair and maintenance and capital expenditures because it is an older home, but it seems like it's been kept up well and is pretty well maintained. In terms of the vacancy, I'm going to assume that I have a great property manager who's on top of it and is getting me a 5% vacancy rate. In terms of the management fees, 10% is pretty typical for a property manager. Now I'm going to assume because this is a single family home that the resident is going to be paying all utilities. So in terms of what I have to pay for electricity, gas, water and sewer, HOA fees, garbage, and other, they're all zero. And so I keep going and then I can check what the analysis spits out for me. So here it shows up. I scroll down and yep, those are not pretty numbers. The cash flow is minus $106 per month. And the cash-on-cash return is minus 3.5%. Those values are really bad. I would argue that even if you're going for appreciation versus cash flow, you still don't want to have a negative cash flow. So based off of the price that they have this property listed at, I would definitely not purchase it. However, the property theoretically could be a good deal if I purchased it for a lot less. So when I was looking here, I saw that this property was sold just 2.5 months ago for over $60,000 less than they're selling it for now. So just for fun, I'm going to go back and keep everything else the same, but change the purchase price from the almost $160,000 to $97,000. So to do that, I can click Edit, change the purchase price to $97,000, and I'll leave everything else the same and press Update Analysis. Now when I scroll down, good, I have a positive cash flow. Now $119 per month with a cash-on-cash return of 6% isn't amazing in my opinion, but let's say the property was listed at $97,000 instead of the $160,000 that it's actually listed at. If that were the case, I might be more interested in this property because I could potentially offer less than the $97,000 and get a better cash flow and cash-on-cash return. So now let's say instead of the $97,000, I think I can get it for $77,000. Now I'm going to leave everything else the same again and press Update Analysis. I scroll down, my monthly cash flow is significantly increased, and my cash-on-cash return is increased. Now everyone has a different value for what they consider a good cash-on-cash return, but for me 11.5% would be a really good cash-on-cash return. So I would definitely consider purchasing the property if I were able to get it for $77,000. Now, obviously, the issue is $77,000 is less than half of what they're actually offering it for, so the odds of me getting it for $77,000 are very slim. I don't think it would be worth my time and energy to actually put an offer in at $77,000. But the point I'm trying to illustrate is that there's no property that's inherently bad, it's just the price you're purchasing it for. So if you're able to offer a lot less than the purchase price of the property, and that offer is accepted, then you can turn what looks on paper to be a bad property into a great one, just by understanding that the asking price is not necessarily the lowest price that they'll sell the property for. So anyways, that's my analysis of this property. I hope it was helpful for you, and be sure to check out my other video where I show you exactly how to make your own rental property analysis that will give you the same numbers that the BiggerPockets one does, but that you can make for free yourself.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like it below and subscribe to get more videos like this in your feed.